So I'll just open it up to anybody who'd like to report in about your practice and what you've noticed this week. We had a holiday, and there's probably been a lot of socializing in many lives. So those might be things we talk about or anything. So just anybody who'd like to speak, you can either unmute or raise your hand.
I do.
Okay, Carla.
So I missed the last two sessions but was listening to them about, uh, being a benefactor or whatever to somebody. And it made me realize over Thanksgiving, I had my grandniece here who, actually is, well, she's quite a little live wire at 6 years old. So she's all over the place. But she's very connected to my son. Like he's the youngest of our group. And so he's in his 20s, but she just really, really adores him, and it's wonderful. And he's basically her benefactor. He spends a lot of time. And I realized that one is that that's sort of what's going on, but I also feel like I haven't made that effort with her as much as I probably could. And so it just made me think about, how to be that way more with her and other people. So it was just, just sort of a thought of being more aware of how I'm relating with others.
Beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it takes. It takes the occasion for us to have the idea, oh, I could do this.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could. We've all received it. We've all seen it done. We can do it ourselves. I bet she just laps it up too, that attention.
Oh, yeah.
No, that when somebody feels affection for us, we respond.
Yes. 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 She's very lovable. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. All right. Thank you for that, Carla. And then Yasmin was next, and then Brenda.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I go to the senior center every once in a while, and I started taking this African drumming series that was only 8 weeks long. And there's anywhere between 8 and 12 of us in this group of elderly people who sit in a semicircle with the instructor in front of us with these African drums between our legs. And the instructor, he doesn't even know our names. It's not like a formal class. It's very focused on just teaching the drumming. And he is so joyful and so at ease in his manner of his way of being, and so attentive to what he's doing and being joyous, just doing it with us. And I watch us, and I kind of laugh inside because we're really bad. And he's fine with it. He's just full of joy. And it is so his attention to just the us and the subject of wanting to convey, do this with us. It just feels like this huge hug, and I'm just blown away by how that feels. And then the icing on the cake was I was sick for a few weeks and I missed the performance. And so the next week after the performance, I go, and he just like was outpouring with how much they missed me. And he's so sorry I didn't attend. And it was so sincere. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's just amazing. And I don't think I've ever met another human being who was so like giving. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you. I feel like I've been basking in it. I mean, your joy and just telling about it is so visible and so intense. And so, you have now been a medium channeling this teacher to us, that joy, that enthusiasm, that open-heartedness. And I was very touched by the, being away and wow, we missed you, and all of that. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's so sincere. Like you can really feel the sincerity of it.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you. So let's see. Brenda, you are going to speak.
And yeah, I just want to express that too, Yasmin, that I just really felt that your joy. And so that was really just blessed by that sharing. Thank you. And mine's just really brief. As you pointed out, we had a holiday, and I'm really experiencing myself very, very differently these last couple weeks since the election. I was very involved in the election down in Pennsylvania, and I'm really noting that I'm carrying a bit more grace with me. There was instructions for there to be no political talk at all at the Thanksgiving, and I was really welcomed by that, and because I usually want to really get into it, and so I'm just noting a lot less reactivity, and internally and then externally. I think a lot of people are probably appreciating that from me, that way of me being. And I certainly am, and I'm just feeling more of a calmness, I guess.
The word softness comes to me, like you've softened.
Well, yeah, I couldn't find the word softness. Yeah.
Yeah, you softened, you've opened. And yeah.
Thank you.
When we're really trying to accomplish something, there is this way that we get very intense and very focused. And thank heavens people do that because sometimes things really need to get done. But I think it's really important to have the time to be yin, if you know that word of yin and yang, that sort of receptive and soft and open and quiet time too. It's really important. And as you observed, sometimes people are really grateful for that when you're that way around them. So sometimes it's hard that we got to get this, we got to do this sort of energy. It's hard. It can be hard to be around. Not everybody's there and should join you with it. So thank you. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Anybody else want to check in just about your practice here of goodwill? I think I sent you off to, the practice is to extend it to the people who are easy in terms of meditation, but maybe notice some of the little flares that go up about who's not easy to feel goodwill to. And we're going to keep doing that. Anybody want to check in about that?
I can check in on that.
All right.
Yeah, you can't see me, but
Yeah, Allison is invisible tonight for some unknown reason.
and my camera is working, so I don't understand it. But yeah, I was thinking about that, as I was rotating through benefactors and also who I have acted as benefactor to, thinking about my daughter, who I have been her strongest benefactor, and feeling even around this holiday season, a lot of lack of gratitude from her.
Mhm.
And it's been distressing, and I'm sort of puzzled. I know our history, but I'm really not sure. It feels like she's just irritated, and she's now in her mid-30s. It's not like she's 15 or 20, even 25 anymore. I thought maybe we've grown out of this phase, and there are little glimmers, but not. And I know that there are other parents that are experiencing that with their sort of adult millennial children. Um, and I keep trying to hold out the love and goodwill and not pull into the irritation and defensiveness. I feel there's a lot of projection. She'll project that I'm being dramatic, and actually her reaction is quite dramatic and not very nice a lot of times.
Yeah. So she's falling in the category of someone difficult for you right now, at least.
Yes.
Perhaps in the past she hasn't been, but right now she's difficult. So, I mean, a couple of things I think are helpful, and I probably will talk about this more tonight and other nights. Is often a good time to sort of put more stores in your pantry. Um, so to do the reflection on your own benefactors and to feel sort of the worthiness that people have shown you. Because, my sense is that when you don't experience gratitude from your daughter, it arouses feelings in you. And that's actually where the suffering is.
Hmm.
And so there may be like feelings of unworthiness,
Hmm.
which then the mind doesn't want you to feel that. It doesn't want you to feel unworthy. So instead it focuses on her and what she could be doing to make you feel more worthy, kind of in the reciprocity that parents hope that they have with their children. I mean, I'm a parent, of course, every parent hopes for that sort of reciprocity from their adult children. Um, but we don't always get it, or we don't get it in the way we want. And so, the suffering is often in the feelings that evokes inside of us. And it's really helpful if you can acknowledge that with yourself. What is it that, what sort of, say, negative beliefs about myself come up when my daughter doesn't show gratitude? Um, and so that is, a more fruitful kind of line of inquiry than the line that the mind more wants to take protectively, which is sort of like what's wrong with her, or also not so helpful. What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Also not very helpful.
Also, I'm finding I'm trying to problem solve it. Like, what is with this already? Like it's
Mhm.
tiring. It's
Yeah,
actually been for quite a while, not when she was younger, but like since that 15-year-old age, and then at various times progressing
yeah,
almost more in which I got it in a young adulthood, the separation, but I'm not quite understanding or
Yeah,
quite.
so that's a good place to really, you don't quite understand what's going on, really to pause there, acknowledge that, actually acknowledge the hurt and notice where the hurt is coming from inside of you around this. And so also not so helpful is, I mean, somewhat helpful is a figure it out mind. Sometimes our intellects can give us
Mm,
an interpretation that's helpful, but sometimes we do that instead of the heart work, kind
mhm,
of the being close to ourselves around this, and sometimes just sharing our grief as you are now. It's a very painful thing,
yeah.
very painful.
Her friends tend to be way more empathic.
Your friends are empathic with you. Yeah. All right. Well, put them in the benefactor category.
Yeah, they're in the benefactor.
Let their love come through. Let their love come through. And whatever's going on with your daughter, let that be her. And whatever's going on with you in terms of
Yeah,
unworthiness, unlovability that it arouses, let that really be conscious.
thank you.
This is a great example. Thank you, Allison. I suspect you're not the only parent out there in this group that is experiencing this. Goodness, it's a tough one.